Hey everyone, Drew Hinton here with Aero Safety, back for another Work Tip Wednesday. Today we're going to take a look at the markings on our safety glasses, our protective eyewear. So if you've ever seen a plus marking on your eyewear, so whether it says Z87 plus or maybe it says Z87 plus 2, if it is prescription eyewear, what does that plus marking actually mean? And so that plus marking is for high impact rating, or it tells you it has impact protection. And so when they do these tests, they're going to test it at a high mass impact test, and they're going to do a high velocity impact test. And so some people, when they think of high impact, high velocity, think of these big extravagant jobs. That's not very common. This could be anything from machining, could be sanding, cutting, chipping, grinding, even masonry work could fall into the impact protection, or where areas where impact protection is possibly needed. And so when they do these tests, so again, they do it a high impact, high mass impact, as well as a high velocity impact. So the high mass impact, they're going to take a pointed projectile that weighs around 500 grams, and that ends up equating to about 17.6 ounces, and drop that from at least 50 inches above the eyewear that they're testing to see if it has any shatters, breaks, knocks the lenses out, any kind of damage, things like that, any defects. Now the high velocity impact test is going to have two different options. They're going to have one, it's a very slight difference. They're going to have one that is a 0.24 inch steel ball, one that's going to be a 0.25, so a quarter inch steel ball. And what they're going to do is they're going to project that at these speeds anywhere for protective eyewear, 150 to 167 feet per second. Now, if you start getting into other eyewear, protective eyewear, so face shields, you look at protective eyewear for your welding helmets, things like that, even full face respirators may get even more, over 300 feet per second at the test speeds. And so going through a lot of rigorous testing when we're doing these things, but they'll again do a high mass and a high velocity impact. So if you're doing any of those tasks, like I said, chipping, grinding, sanding, masonry work, machining, things like that, the Z87 plus marking, that plus insignia that you'll see on the frame, will tell you that it's impact rated. So if you're dealing with people that are in those tasks or doing those types of work that have a high impact risk, then you may need to make sure they are actually wearing the proper eyewear. So just go and take a quick look at it, make sure they do have that plus marking on their protective eyewear, and make sure it is the proper one for the task. So appreciate your all's time today. Have a great week.